The morning sun painted the streets of Maplewood in golden hues as 28-year-old Lana Bennett hurried toward her job at Glamour Haven, the town's most prestigious beauty salon. Unlike her childhood friends who'd pursued corporate careers, Lana had followed her passion, transforming hair into works of art. Her parents had disowned her when she refused medical school, but 6 years later, her talent had made her the most requested stylist in town. Maplewood was the kind of place where everyone knew your coffee order and your childhood secrets. Lana thrived in this warmth, remembering every client's birthday and their kids' names. But today, Destiny had other plans. The corner coffee cart. She spotted him. Thomas Reed, the 42-year-old veteran everyone whispered about. Once a decorated soldier, now a broken man. His wife had left him after his third tour, and PTSD had left him unable to hold a job. His matted hair and overgrown beard told a story of despair. "Thomas, wait up," Lana called. Ignoring the stares from other customers, the veteran flinched, as if kindness startled him. "Lana, you don't have to." "Nonsense." She handed him a steaming cup. "Everyone deserves a good morning." As they walked to the salon, Thomas confessed he hadn't looked in a mirror in months. "Feels like the person staring back isn't me anymore." Lana's heart clenched. "Come by the salon later," she said impulsively. "I'll give you a fresh start free." Thomas's eyes welled up. "I couldn't possibly. I insist." 3 hours later, the salon buzzed with chatter when Thomas arrived. Lana seated him with care, draping the cape gently over his frayed jacket. As she snipped away the tangles of his past, the room quieted. Strand by strand, the real Thomas emerged, sharp jawline, warm brown eyes. Then the door chimed. Diane Carlisle, the salon's icy owner, froze mid-step. Her designer heels clicked as she stormed over. "What is this?" Lana kept her voice steady. "Thomas is my guest today." Diane's lip curled. "We're not a charity." She turned to Thomas. "That'll be $45. The room gasped. Thomas reached for his empty wallet, but Lana stepped between them. "I invited him. Take it from my paycheck." Diane's laugh was razor sharp. "Pack your things. You're fired." As Thomas stumbled out, humiliated, Lana whispered, "It's not your fault." But the damage was done. News spread faster than wildfire. At Joe's diner, Thomas choked out the story to concerned locals. At the hardware store, old Mr. Jenkins slammed his hammer down. "That's Lana. Who fires an angel like her?" By the time Mayor Grayson's phone rang, half the town was marching toward Glamour Haven. Inside the salon, Lana wiped tears as she cleaned her station one last time. The bell jingled, but it wasn't a client. Mayor Grayson, flanked by Thomas and dozens of townspeople, filled the doorway. Diane paled. "Lana," the mayor boomed, "is it true you were fired for this?" He gestured to Thomas's transformed face. Diane hissed. "She violated policy." "Quiet." The mayor's glare silenced her. He turned to Lana. "Maplewood rewards kindness." From his briefcase, he pulled a velvet box. Inside gleamed a golden key and a check for $50,000. "For your own salon," he announced. As the crowd erupted in cheers, Diane's scream was lost in the roar. "You can't do this." The mayor smiled. "Watch us." 6 weeks later, grand opening day, the ribbon stretched taut across the entrance of Lana's Haven, its gold letters gleaming under the morning sun. Half the town had gathered, including Thomas, now clean-shaven and standing taller, though shadows still lingered in his eyes. Mayor Grayson handed Lana oversized scissors. "To Maplewood's real beauty queen," he toasted. As the ribbon fluttered to the ground, the crowd surged forward. But across the street, Diane watched from her near-empty salon, her manicured fingers crushing a coffee cup. Lana was mopping floors after closing when the crash came. Glass shattered as a brick sailed through her front window. Scrawled in red paint, "Know your place." Her hands trembled as she dialed Thomas. Within minutes, he was there, inspecting the damage with military precision. "This wasn't random," he muttered, plucking a silver hairpin from the wreckage, the kind Diane always wore. Lana hugged her arms. "I can't prove it was her." Thomas's jaw tightened. "Vets have friends in low places. Let me handle this." Thomas tracked down Diane's ex-husband at a dive bar. The man slurred out truths between whiskey shots. Diane's always been vicious. Fired her own sister for giving a discount to chemo patients. He smirked. "Check her office safe. Combination's her birthday. She's vain like that." That night, Thomas and Lana broke into Glamour Haven. The safe held a shock. Photos of Lana's parents, torn at the edges. Why would she? Lana gasped. Then, a ledger. Paid. James Bennett, Lana's father. $10,000 for silence. Thomas's flashlight trembled. Your dad knew Diane, and she paid him off. At dawn, Lana marched into Glamour Haven, the evidence in hand. Diane froze mid-color mix. "You knew my father," Lana accused. "What did he see?" Diane's laugh was brittle. "That pathetic drunk? He caught me skimming profits. I bought his silence, just like I'll buy yours." She slid a check across the table. Lana tore it in half. "My dad died ashamed." "You did that." The door burst open. Mayor Grayson and the sheriff stood there, Thomas behind them, recording everything on his phone. Diane's scream echoed as cuffs clicked shut. "This town will rot without me." The sheriff snorted. "Funny, your ex just confessed to tax fraud for you." The morning after Diane's arrest, Lana arrived at her salon to find Thomas already waiting outside, pacing like a caged animal. His usual calm demeanor had been replaced by restless energy, his fingers drumming against his thigh in a staccato rhythm. "You're here early," she said, unlocking the door. The shattered window had been boarded up overnight, but the red paint still bled through the cracks in the wood. Thomas didn't meet her eyes. "We need to talk." Inside, he paced the length of the salon before pulling a folded photograph from his jacket. The edges were worn soft, the image faded with age. A younger Thomas in uniform stood beside a smiling woman with Lana's warm brown eyes, her Aunt Rachel, who died in a car accident years ago. "You knew my aunt?" Lana's fingers trembled as she took the photo. Thomas exhaled sharply. "She wasn't just your aunt. She was my fiancée." The world tilted. Lana gripped the styling chair as Thomas continued, his voice raw. "Rachel was Diane's younger sister." "The car accident?" He pulled a crumpled police report from his pocket, one that listed Diane as the last person to see Rachel alive. They fought over salon ownership that night. Diane always claimed Rachel ran off the road, but the tire marks showed otherwise. Lana's breath caught. "You think Diane?" "I know she did." Thomas's hands clenched. "I spent 8 years searching for proof. When I heard Diane had fired you for helping a veteran, I knew history was repeating itself." The pieces clicked into place. Thomas's sudden appearance in town, his military precision, the way he'd known exactly how to take Diane down. He hadn't just been helping Lana. He'd been finishing a mission. Across town, Diane sat in a jail cell, unaware that her past was about to catch fire. The ledger's secret. The mayor's audit of Glamour Haven's books uncovered more than stolen funds. Page after page detailed Project Phoenix. Diane schemed to bankrupt local businesses and buy up Main Street properties. The final entry chilled Lana to the bone. Bennett Girls Salon next. Just like her father. But Maplewood had other plans. Be wine noon. A line stretched down the block outside Lana's Haven. Not just for haircuts. The town's baker brought muffins, the florist delivered fresh roses, and old Mr. Jenkins installed a new stained glass window to replace the broken one. As Lana trimmed Mrs. Calloway's silver curls, the bell jingled again. Sheriff Hayes stood in the doorway, Diane in handcuffs behind him. "Thought you'd want to see this," the sheriff said, slapping a newspaper on the counter. The headline blared, "Carlisle charged with manslaughter, Ian's sister's death." Diane's face went ashen as Thomas stepped forward, Rachel's photo held high. "You took everything from me," Thomas said, his voice steady for the first time in years. "But you couldn't kill her kindness." He nodded to Lana. "It's still changing lives." 1 year later, the ribbon at Lana's second salon location shimmered in the sunlight. This time, Thomas stood beside her with the scissors, his uniform replaced by a crisp navy suit. "To new beginnings," he said, squeezing her hand. The crowd erupted in cheers as the ribbon fell. Across the street, the boarded-up remains of Glamour Haven sagged under a foreclosure sign. Inside Lana's bustling salon, 2 photos hung framed by the register, one of her father, finally at peace, and one of Rachel, the woman whose love had unknowingly brought them all together. As Lana swept a lock of hair from Thomas's forehead, she smiled. Some legacies weren't about blood or money. They were built strand by strand, kindness by kindness, and that was something no one could ever break. Kindness creates ripples that outlast cruelty, and justice always finds its way to those who stand for what's right. Never underestimate the power of one good deed. It can rewrite destinies. If this story moved you, smash that like button, subscribe for more heart-stirring tales, and tell us in the comments, what's one act of kindness you'll never forget? Stay tuned for our next video, you won't want to miss it.